Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? How does Amy Porterfield go about her day to day life to continue building and expounding on the life that you once thought that you could create?
So where am I now? I've never ever been in a place that I felt like, okay, I've made it. I've done it. We're here. And because I've never felt that way, even though I'm living a life right now beyond my wildest dreams, my husband and I constantly are like, how is this happening? But at the same time, I'm always looking to grow, to better myself. I'm pretty hard on myself. I have to be very careful of that. So I'm always thinking, what do I need to improve? What do I need to focus on? So it's constantly growth and learning in this world over here.
Yeah. And in that, as you're stepping deeper into it, how do you facilitate the spaces that you are growing in? Because I think, and especially when you live in kind of the personal development world, it's easy to get overran by, oh, I need to read this book, go to that conference,
Yes.
get involved in this thing. And I think people, as they get deeper into the journey, even with stuff here and Think Unbroken, I'm like, hold on, wait a second. What do you actually need? So how do you facilitate that? I know I need to grow, but discovering like this is the plant I should water, right?
Yes. Okay, so this is a great question because I am constantly focused on what is my focus right now? What is my priority? And one thing I teach my students that I try to do myself is I don't want a lot of balls in the air. I don't want too many things that I'm trying to work on. And I really am careful of shiny object syndrome. Like, that looks good. That looks good. So, my whole growth of my business has been let's focus on just a few core things at once and do them well and do them over and over again. So I look at my personal development at that as well. I am someone who has struggled very much so with depression and anxiety since I've been very young. And so for that is a focus this year because last year in 2021, somehow or another, I got deep into depression. It's just like I woke up one morning and I thought, how did I get this far into feeling this way again? So I climbed out of it in 2021 and 2022 is all about let's not go back there. So it's my morning routine that I'm focusing on. It's my nighttime ritual that I'm focusing on. I don't have a lot of room to focus on a lot of personal development. So it's those things that I do in the morning and evening that I focus on the most.
Yeah, the most crucial and critical. I interviewed Gabor Mate, who is arguably the leading researcher, doctor, speaker in the trauma space. And I remember he told me depression is when we depress things down, we hold them down.
Mm.
And because of that, they tend to rule our life. Like you, the huge reason I created this show is battling massive depression and anxiety in my life. And in fact, attempting to take my life in the past. And it's one of the things that I've held on to. And I don't know if this feels true for you or not, but I've come to realize that this too shall pass.
Yeah.
There's this space of understanding, like, you know what? Maybe if I just keep going, not in that weird, like, to push myself to the fucking brink, because
Yeah.
obviously that doesn't work, but can I brush my teeth, put one foot in front? So, clawing yourself out of that, what was that experience like for you if you're willing to go in?
Yeah, I am. What it felt like in the moment was I got scared when there were mornings I didn't want to get out of bed because my business, the business I built is my baby. I've never given birth to a child, but I do feel like I've given birth to this business and it's everything to me. Unfortunately, probably too much of my identity is tied to it, so that's a whole other story, but it's the truth. And so when I didn't want to get out of bed in the morning, when I literally couldn't find happiness in anything, that is when it started to scare me because I thought this is so much bigger than me. And this isn't just take a walk and it's going to go away kind of thing. And so for me, that's when I just realized, holy cow, I need to do something about it. And that's when I started to reach out. I called a therapist. I started getting recommendations for a therapist. I started doing things bigger than just what I could control. I talked to a doctor about do I need medication? I chose not to go that route, but it was definitely on the radar for me at the time. And so I just started reaching out. I'm not one to ask for a lot of help, but that felt it was too big for just me.